Guess you might ask if Trump's presidency profitable to at least someone. Well, yes, that someone is Donald Trump himself. Judging on the schemes he puts out loud, using his presidential influence, he manipulates with the market through his posts in Truth Social and applying some extra tariffs on some of the countries, or not applying but threatening to apply those, like for example it happened recently to China. This happened on 10th of October the first time, but today there was a new post of Donald Trump created that cancelled this first one. However, for this weekend, someone earned millions of dollars. Someone potentially associated to Donald Trump, his family, his friends. Yeah, for now I cannot prove that, but actually it is provable. And later on I'm gonna tell you how it could be proved. But the thing that the current White House administration, prosecution office, FBI, all of them will do absolutely zero about it. So we'll have to wait 3.5 years until next guys take the power in the United States. But also there is the probability for MAGA to stay in power. Maybe not Donald Trump personally, but that's the worst case scenario, I would say. Well, anyways, this is the big Truth Social media post. So United States of America will impose a tariff of 100% on China. Well, I'm not the native English speaker, but I know some of the grammar in English. Then you say will, it means you'll do it. Otherwise, it could have been written like we may apply tariffs on China, or we could apply tariffs of China, something like that, yeah? Would, could, may, can, those are the words which could be used just as the threat, yeah? But here it's like a taken decision, then he says will. So people understand it as some sort of the reality, and markets immediately reacted, especially crypto. Yeah, at first we have stocks here, everything went down, all of red mostly. People were waiting for this kind of the tariff war renewal. Actually, it has not yet been stopped, by the way, and China is winning this war so far because they create more pressure on the United States of America. And later in this video I'm gonna tell you what they just recently did, which may potentially slave the developers of the United States even weapons. To what China Communist Party is willing. I think that China really wants to change the world order, to really push economically the United States of America, and sadly there is a very incompetent president of USA nowadays. He doesn't understand that. Well, let's say maybe he understands, but he underestimates the threat, and at the same time he's not dealing with this issue, he's making it even worse. And also Bitcoin from 126,000 dropped down to 101. It's like in those meme videos, then you see this red trend goes down and everything is collapsing around someone's life. So actually it happened. And that situation in the market that was caused by the Trump's tweet even touched Ukraine. Yes, Ukraine's one of the biggest crypto trader, Konstantin Galich, found dead in Lamborghini in Kiev as market plunges. Here's the guy, he's a multimillionaire, he has his own investment fund or something where lots of the big businessmen are involved. So I'm not sure whether he was KA himself or someone did it, but obviously it was caused by this big trend. He was found dead in his Lamborghini Urus. By the way, one of my favorite cars, absolutely fantastic looking, but I'll never buy it for myself because it's too expensive. Plus I watched the CafeZilla yesterday. He has fantastic YouTube channel, his main one, CafeZilla and Voidzilla, where he discusses some of the crypto scam which is made also by Trump's family, like Trump coin, Melania coin, those kind of the rug pull activities. And he says, based on the evidence that was published by legacy media, and you may also find this information openly in social media, that someone earned 190 millions on that market plunge, if I speak about only cryptocurrency. I'll play just a part of this clip for you to understand.
$190 million insider trading analysis. Someone made $190 million while the crypto markets were crashing yesterday in light of tariffs that seem to have been preempted by a very specific trader. We're going to get into it. I want to be clear that I'm not accusing anyone of a crime here. Insider trading specifically relates to securities. We've been pretty clear.
Yeah, so someone did it.
Bitcoin. In fact, this person continues to short Bitcoin all the way up till 2049, 23 GMT. Why is that significant, ladies and gentlemen? It's because 2049 is the last short he places, okay? 2050 GMT. A minute later, 1 minute later, Trump announces they're considering an 100% tariff on China, which of course tanks the market. And this person makes literally $190 billion.
So just for you to understand, you can bet some of the shorts, yeah? Basically betting on Bitcoin value to lower. They bet, and 1 minute, the last short, yeah? The last stake was put 1 minute before Trump's tweet. And after it, no more bets on that position. Is it a coincidence? Well, I don't think so. Here CoffeeZilla also says the similar situation happens with the stock market. Then AMD signed a deal with OpenAI. Also someone knew about it ahead and bet on that. So yeah, market grows. And someone earned millions and millions of dollars. Yeah, it's not connected to Trump's tweet here, but it happened also on October the 2nd, right before the announcement of this deal really happened. So there are some of the insiders, yeah, some of the friends or family members or maybe Trump's team or AMD associated figures, and they manipulate markets, earning millions or basically nothing. It is called a speculation, and for the companies it was always like that. That's why government applies its own protocols in those kind of the cases. They have administrative measures towards the companies, some huge fines on those corporations which might be billions of dollars, and in occasional cases there is the criminal prosecution. But in our case the government is involved itself. It is doing pretty much the same stuff which only greedy corpos did before. That's why I'm saying that Donald Trump is using his presidency in his favor and favor of his family and friends. And speaking about crypto, did you know that Trump is now one of America's biggest Bitcoin investors? By the way, the article was published a few hours before Trump's announcement towards Chinese tariffs. And yes, Trump, through his friends and family members, they own some of the companies that continue to purchase bitcoins. As estimate, Trump owns $870 million in digital currency. This article is very interesting, published by Forbes, so you can check it out easily. Here they say about some of the companies associated with the Trump's group and some more details which are kind of interesting. And here we're not even speaking about Trump coin, Melania coin, and all of that useless merch or shit that Trump wants to sell to MAGA supporters. Or Trump watches. We're on the official site for Trump watches.
Hello everyone, it's President Donald J. Trump, and it's Trump time. Check out this red beauty, it's one of my new watches. Wear it proudly on your wrist.
Why there is a new signature and not like he put the old kind of the signature on Jeffrey Epstein's 50th anniversary birthday card? Yeah, there was different signature, Donny. I would even consider purchasing if there was definitely a different design. Yeah, Donald Trump, like you like, ladies, it's 100%. So draw something like this and yeah, people would think a different signature, please, a small one with this drop, yeah, that fits you well. Oh my god, probably I'll never be, not never be, but while Donald Trump is a president, I will not go to United States of America. I will be immediately deported, I guess. Yeah, no one would issue me a visa. They would put me in a blacklist, I think. But after 3.5 years, we'll see. I hope sane presidents will get the power in the United States, not this orange idiot that wants to sell you absolute bullshit. And now we have a new post from Donald Trump, which he did like few hours before I'm filming this video. Don't worry about China, he says, it will all be fine, yeah. Highly respected President Xi just had a bad moment. He doesn't want depression for his country, and neither do I. The United States wants to help China, not hurt it, President Trump. And you know what happened to crypto? It starts to rise again. So whoever bought it at this bottom of the drop earned now millions of dollars because it will restore the positions, because nothing really happened. Those were just couple of the Trump tweets on Truth Social that he did probably for his circle, friends and family to earn money. But again, I cannot prove it. It's just my assumption. And guys, it's the first time in the history that the guy who is in charge of the biggest economy, biggest army, behaves like that. He uses his influence and position to get some money for his family, his friends, and himself. Oh my god, the guy is almost 80 years old. What would I do if I was 80? Or then I will be, hopefully, 80 years old? Scamming, rug pulling everyone around? I don't think so. Well, I understand that the power is the biggest narcotic out there, but Donny is, it's too much. Donny. And for sure, other leaders in the world, especially dictators, they see how short-focused Donald Trump really is on his personal ambitions, on his greediness. Yeah, can we call it greediness? Yes, that's the thing, that someone is very greedy, wants more and more and more. I think it absolutely describes Donald Trump with all of his behavior. What I don't understand is how MAGA people trust this guy, especially those MAGA supporters who call themselves Christians, because Trump has nothing to do with that religion. Well, it's the topic of another video. Here I want to show you the incompetence of the leadership of the White House, of the United States of America in general, but at the same time that leadership is very competent if it goes for their personal income, which could be based on speculative schemes. But the good thing about crypto that we may trace all of the transactions, and for example, this is some sort of the Google image wallet number, so it's not real, it's not a real QR code, don't scan it, it's just to show you like how it looks, yeah, the wallet number. So someone who was involved in that scheme, who played and gained $190 million, it was all connected to a single crypto wallet. Again, it's not this one, it's just an example. Now people may trace this number and all of the transaction coming and outcoming from it. But the thing that we don't know the identity of the owner. It could be some sort of the corporation, it could be a single investor, group of investors. Yeah, that's why some people go to crypto, because they don't want to disclose their identities. So it's perfect for those scam schemes. Well, it only could be traced by police, but if it is connected to White House administration or government itself, police would never start the investigation, which in the case of gaining $190 million on a betting that was really unreal. Would you bet millions of dollars if Bitcoin drops down very quickly, if Bitcoin was rising at that time? Yes, it was rising. And just 1 minute before Trump's tweet went public, you stop it. You stop the betting. I think investors spent roughly $8 million but gained 190. Wow, money literally from nothing, but now analytics may trace the number of that wallet. That's why I think it will go dead for extensive period of time, and then people forget about this stuff. Oh, it occurred a long time ago. No one would remember. Then some of the transactions would start from that number, from this wallet. There could be microtransactions to private owners. Yeah, they can hide all of that potentially. That's why the government investigation is very important. But as I say to you, no one would be bothered from officials in the United States right now. If it was the scandal with Biden's tweet or something, oh, MAGA would say, no, it's the crypto scam, we should investigate, Biden is bad. But in case of Donald Trump, who is more than Jesus for them, for MAGA occultists, well, they don't care. And those guys, like in China, they think differently. So China tightens export controls on rare earth minerals. Why this matters? This is the article from Al Jazeera, but you may check out any sort of the other article. They say absolutely the same stuff. There's the trade war ongoing between the United States and China, which was started by Donald Trump. Yeah, it was started, but Donald Trump just cannot win it, because United States economy is very dependent on China. For example, speaking about farmers in America, China refused to buy soybeans from the United States, but instead it is purchasing it from Argentina. And there was the scandal with Treasury Secretary Steve Bessent with his phone that was filmed by a journalist, where he sent the message to some other official, I don't remember the name, where he described this kind of terrible situation for American economy. And that China is now trading fully with Argentina. At the same time, the United States, they want to support Argentinian economy because Milei, well, he's after all a populist, and he cannot stop the economic crisis in Argentina, but the United States, they want to have their ally, first of all, political ally in that region, like Donald Trump, he likes Milei. That's why they plan to invest billions of dollars into Argentina. Make America great again, yeah? So not only Argentina gets all of the contracts with China, not the United States of America, but the United States administration decided to support Argentina's economy. Crazy as it sounds, but it is like that. And with those export controls of the rare earth minerals, China basically puts its hands or nose into American military development. Let me explain you. So there are 17 rare earth minerals in total and 15 metallic elements of the periodic table, scandium and yttrium. China now has export restrictions on 12 of them. So 15 and 12 are under control of China. So if United States want to have some unique, precise production, speaking about space industry, military, they need those rare earth minerals. And now they have to ask for special approvals from Beijing, from China Communist Party, to obtain those minerals. There are not too much minerals of that kind in the United States of America. Like, for example, there is less oil in China. That's why the international trade is so important. Someone has more than other country, and that's what creates this global trade. That's how we live in this world, yeah? So now to obtain the license, foreign companies must explain the intended use of the product they wish to use Chinese rare earth minerals to make. So for military production, for example, China may not sell those materials any longer because United States is the ally of Taiwan, so potentially military equipment could be supplied over there. They might say it like that, yeah, China Communist Party. So China is starting the control over those elements. Yeah, this caused by significant damage or posed potential threats to China. The materials are crucial for United States defense industry. They're used to manufacture F-35 fighter jets, Virginia and Columbia class submarines, Tomahawk missiles, radar systems, Predator unmanned aero vehicles, and many more. And it is just a military sphere. There's also high-tech, precise technologies, as I say to you, in space, in medicine. In all of that equipment, the rare earth minerals are used to produce those, yeah? And China is the largest producer of these rare earth minerals in the world. And based on statistics published in 2023, the United States was the largest importer of Chinese rare earth minerals. So now Chinese say that you can use it just for health emergencies or disaster relief, and for the other purposes you need to negotiate with Beijing, with China Communist Party directly. So Trump started this war with China, tariff war, and now it is backfired towards American economy first of all, and probably in the future towards American military. If you want to start this economy war with China, at first search for alternates, yeah, for your markets. Try to find some other partners who also have rare earth minerals and make deals with them at first, and then start your freaking tariff war, because that is how Donald Trump actually jeopardizes United States not just economy but safety. Or maybe they could have bought those rare earth minerals well before, yeah, huge package of those materials for the next decades, but no, it wasn't done. By the way, it's quite similar to Putin, yeah, who started the war in Ukraine but who kept his money in European banks, which are now being frozen. Hopefully they will be confiscated and put for Ukrainian military support. Well guys, it's all what I want to say today. Kind of interesting topic we discussed. Like this video, subscribe for the channel. Ciao.